Saturday Social is powered by FIFA 22 with PlayStation.
Patrick, in front of me I have some of the most searched questions about Patrick Vieira on the internet, and you're going to attempt to answer some of them now. How are you feeling about this?
I'm expecting every kind of question.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a good start. What a day for it as well, by the way.
It's a lovely day.
I know. Right, let's
South
get
London.
started. South London, exactly. First question, I think you're going to like this one. Just quite simply says, has Patrick Vieira won the World Cup?
Yes, I was quite really fortunate to be part of that generation, 98, who won the World Cup, and he was in France. So that was the ice on the cake, I would say.
Does that make it extra special, the fact that it was a home tournament?
He make it really special. Even so, that period in France was quite really complicated.
Yeah.
It was a lot of racism going around France, and to win that World Cup with the diversity that we had in our team, showing what was France is all about.
So it's like bigger than football.
It's bigger than football, yeah.
And of course you won so much in your career. I was looking at all the trophies that you've won, but was that your standout moment? If you had to pick one achievement that meant more than any other, would it be the World Cup?
The World Cup is the dream as a child.
Yeah.
I think you dream about playing in a World Cup, but the dream to win it is something that you always think about that as a dream.
Yeah.
So it's a dream came true. So I will put that one of the best, if not the best, of course.
Love it. Next up, is Patrick Vieira an invincible?
This is a massive achievement as well. A fantastic team spirit, teammates, a really good understanding on and off the field. He was a strength, he was fighters, he was individual quality as well. And the manager who I believe was the only one who believed that we could go through a season unbeaten.
Really?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you as well, because this debate we have so often, where do you think that team ranks in terms of greatest ever Premier League teams? There have been so many great teams, haven't there? But where do you think the Invincibles ranks amongst the best teams?
Is there, I think, with the best one, and I think it is always a discussion to have, because United, when they won the triple, I think that was as well a really strong side. So we are there with those teams, and I think there is a really good discussion to have and to find out which one was the best. But that is the team who went through the season unbeaten, and going through the season unbeaten, it's something that I think will be hard to do again.
Do you think it'll ever be done again by anyone?
It will be done, I believe.
You think so, do you?
Yes, it will be done. When? I don't know,
Okay.
but I believe it will be done again. But we can say we'll be the first one.
Yeah, there you go. Next up, interesting one this, it just says, did Ray Parlour teach Patrick Vieira English? You knew it was coming there, didn't you?
I knew it will come, yeah. There's this kind of things going around, and he wasn't the best teacher, I would say.
Wasn't the best teacher?
No, he wasn't the best, because a couple of months after I realised what he was teaching me wasn't the right things to say. So
what kind of things? We've heard the David Dean story, but what kind of?
That was a true story, and this is
it?
something that people laugh about it,
Yeah.
and I find it quite really funny today. But that is as well telling you who Ray Parlour was, outside of being a wonderful and a terrific football player, the character and the personality, and I love him.
I know Ray well. He is a bit of a joker, isn't he?
He is a joker, and he characterized quite well what was that generation of players at the time, because he was funny, really funny, but he has this kind of work ethic on the field, and that's why this is one of the reasons why all the foreign players, especially the French one, we loved Ray.
Yeah, and you can't repeat a lot of what he taught you, I presume. On
No,
camera.
I can't.
Okay, we'll move on.
I will be in trouble.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Next question: does Patrick Vieira still speak to Arsene Wenger?
Yes, I do speak to Arsene quite really often, to be honest with you. Yes, he is following what I'm doing here at Palace. We talk about football, we talk about tactics, we talk about the way I want to prepare the week. He's always a good advice, giving me the feedback about the team, because he's been watching all our games, and it's good to talk about him. And I think it's important for somebody like myself, who still taking a lot on board to be a better manager, and to have somebody like that next to me. It's fantastic.
Yeah, love that. Okay, next up, just simply says, what is Patrick Vieira's favourite food?
So I'm born in Africa, in Senegal.
Yeah.
So my favourite dish is a plate called chebujen.
Okay.
It's based with fish, red rice with some vegetable, I will say, around that.
What was your pre-match food when you were a player?
I think it's like a majority of the players is a lot of pasta.
Yeah.
At Arsenal, we used to have this kind of boiled fish. It wasn't the best.
It wasn't the best, was it? Okay.
Not the best taste, but the best, I will say, to prepare yourself for the game.
You didn't enjoy it, but it was good for you.
Exactly.
I like the way you said that. Next one just says, are Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane friends?
We are. We've been working together for the Euros a couple of times, and it was funny because one day we just finished doing one of the game and we decided to walk back to the hotel with the crew around us, and we saw an ice cream shop.
Right.
So we just said, okay, let's go for the ice cream. So we went inside and we get some ice cream, and we was walking around back to the hotel, and it was some fans and couldn't believe that it was Roy and myself walking around and eating an ice cream. So they wanted to take a picture, and of course we said no because we can't take a picture.
Wow.
But no, of course we take a picture with those guys, and I like him a lot. He's a funny guy, and of course we start knowing better each other, working around those Euros and the World Cup. So
I love that, because from the tunnel incident, I think a lot of people will be surprised that you're walking around in the sunshine with an ice cream. So who bought who the ice cream?
He's the one who paid because he was the better player, never paid for.
Wow, there we go.
He is the one who had to pay for the ice cream.
Because you were the better player.
Yes.
And that tunnel incident, do you look back on that now and joke about it with him? Because it was quite an iconic moment at the time, wasn't it, that incident?
Yeah, he was, and he was the pressure, he was the intimidation, he was the competitiveness, and he was making a territory, and that was the passion as well from both of us, and I think this is one of the reasons why people always and still talk about Arsenal United, the rivalry.
Okay, next up just says, who is the best player Patrick Vieira has managed?
Wow. Listen, when I was at City, I had in New York City, I had a chance to work with Frank Lampard, with David Villa, with Ray Parlour, and they were fantastic players. So I can't really compare them with those players because they were really the top of the top, I will say it. But one of the best young players I worked with was Jack Harrison.
Jack Harrison, yeah.
When we were at New York, he was a young player coming through, and you can see that he had the ability to go where he is at the moment.
Yeah, and in terms of your playing career, tough one, but who would you say was the best player that you ever played with? You played with some great players, didn't you?
Yeah, and it is a really difficult, but two players coming, or three players, I will say it. The best two, I will say it's in international level, Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah. Wow.
Because he's make everything look so easy, and you always give him the ball, and sometimes he can be a really bad ball, and he became a good ball because of his technical ability.
Amazing touch, didn't he?
It's unbelievable. He's the best one, and of course Dennis Bergkamp I have to mention Dennis. I have to mention Cherry, and of course when I was in Juventus with Ibrahimovic, and I was in Inter with Luis Figo.
Yeah.
I was pleased because I played with some of the best players in the game.
A lot of players you mentioned, they're keeping a lot of your friends happy, I gather. Not mentioning one, you mentioned a lot of them there.
Yeah, because it's really difficult to pick up one player because, yes, playing on those clubs and those players, but if I have to choose one or two, will be Dennis Bergkamp, Zinedine Zidane, and I have to put Cherry there because Cherry is...
What about against then? All the battles that you had, was there one player that you thought, this is the best person I've ever come up against?
I think in England I will say Roy Keane, of course, because I believe that he's one of the best. In the international level, Edgar Davis was quite really tough to play against. Yeah. When we play a couple of games against each other for the France-Holland, he's a tough one as well to play against.
Okay, similar note. This question just says, is Patrick Vieira the best ever Premier League midfielder?
You're asking me the question?
Yeah, this is what's been searched.
I don't like to say I was the best. I will say that I was part of, I believe, the best holding midfielder in this country.
And you've just been inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. Was that a big honour for you? Obviously,
of course, it is.
Of course, was that a big honour as well?
It is a big honour. It's a massive achievement, and I think this is when I keep realising how good I was.
Yeah, it's like you realise how good you were when you get those individual moments.
Yes.
Like it. Final question, Patrick just says, how many languages can Patrick Vieira speak?
3 languages, of course Italian, because I've been there for 6 years in total, and it's quite similar than the French. And my English is not so bad, so I can have a proper conversation, I would say.
Does that help when now you're a manager and you've got so many different nationalities in the change room? Is that a big help for you when you can communicate in so many different languages?
It is a massive help. I think the fact that I played in different countries and been with different players and understand how different cultures can be, and that helped me, of course, as a manager to manage players in a different way, I would say.
Not a bad answer. There we go. Patrick, really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Top man, cheers.
Thank you.